Shalom, Tracy. Shalom. Hello. How's it going, Teresa? Shalom. Shalom, Candace. Hello, everybody. Why, hello. Shalom to you as well. I haven't heard from Michael. He was kind of up late last night, so I'm not sure he'll join us tonight, but I came up with a little study on something I've been studying today. If you guys aren't familiar with Genesis 9 verses 9 through 17, we can break that down a little bit. I'd like to show how the Messiah can be found in these verses, and how the new covenant has not arrived yet. We're going to kind of bounce all over the place, so it's going to bring us to a bunch of different places. So I'll first off just start by, let's see what, I'll just wait a little bit and let some more people get in here maybe. Shalom, how are you? Thanks for sharing the live. We'll get some more people in here and then we'll get started on. Well, hello there, long time no see. I guess I can start off just by reading the verses here, and then we'll break them down. I'll just start reading the entire thing. Starting off at Genesis 9:9. And I, behold, I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the fowl, of the cattle, and of every beast of the earth with you, from all that go out of the ark, to every beast of the earth. And I will establish my covenant with you. Neither shall all flesh be cut off any more by the waters of a flood. Neither shall there any more be a flood to destroy the earth. And Elohim said, This is the token of my covenant, of the covenant which I make between me and you and every living creature that is with you for perpetual generations. I do set my bow in the cloud, and it shall be for a token of a covenant between me and the earth. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. Those are two very important verses right there. Remember those. I don't think it's literally talking about a rainbow. I think it's talking about a time when the cloud will come. And I will remember my covenant, which is between me and you and every living creature of all flesh. And the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I may remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. And Elohim said unto Noah, This is the token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. All right. So, first, I'd like to break down what establish means a little bit. It is the word 6965. which, oh, I don't know how to say that. It's like kum, I guess, would be the word. It can mean many different things. Some may mean that when it's being used in this term, that it is at this point in time it is being put into effect. But with the different definitions that there are in here, it could mean that it is not in effect, but it is going to be in effect later at a later date. There's one instant here in military context when it says to engage in battle. So it could mean to start to like enter into an agreement, something like that. And then when you enter an agreement, both parties have to keep that agreement on both sides. So if you look at this, we'll start at 9:9. Now I establish my covenant with you and with your descendants after you. I'm going to cross-reference some other, there's many places where the covenant has been established, which could mean reaffirmed or continued in as well as established can mean that. So in Exodus 6:4, he reestablishes a covenant. I also establish my covenant with them to give them the land of Canaan, the land where they had lived as foreigners. Then I will remember my covenant, or Leviticus 26:42 says, then I will remember my covenant with Jacob and my covenant with Isaac and my covenant with Abraham, and I will remember the land. Psalms 105, 8 through 10. He remembers his covenant forever, the word he ordained for 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham and the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree to Israel, as an everlasting covenant. Behold, the day, this is Jeremiah 31, 33. We're just kind of bouncing around a little bit to establish some covenant principles here. Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. And it will not be like the covenant I made with their fathers when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt. A covenant they broke, though I was a husband to them, declares the Lord. But this is the covenant I will make with the house of Israel after those days, declares the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and inscribe it in their hearts, and I will be their God, and they will be my people. Oh, sorry, am I missing? Did you ever minister in Iran? No. No, I'm not sure if I would want to go there to Iran, but thank you for asking. All right, Ezekiel 16:60. But I will remember the covenant I made with you in the days of your youth, and I will establish an everlasting covenant with you. On that day I will make a covenant for them with the beasts of the field, and the birds of the air, and the creatures that crawl on the ground. And I will abolish bow and sword and battle in the land, and I will make them lie down in safety. This is Hosea 2:18 through 20. So I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you in righteousness and justice, in loving devotion and compassion. And I will betroth you in faithfulness, and you will know the Lord. So some of this, that hasn't happened yet, obviously, since on that day. We're going to try to establish what on that day is through this as well, all right? So we're going to jump to Genesis 9:10 next. and with every living creature that was with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the animals, all those that came out of the ark with you, every living creature on earth. Again, if we look at Hosea 2:18, it reminds you of that very verse. On that day I will make a covenant. It's talking about a future day for them with the beasts of the field and the birds of the air and the creatures that crawl on the ground. And I will abolish bow and sword and battle in the land and make them lie down in safety. So this has not happened yet. This covenant has not happened that is spoke of from the time. Isaiah 11:6-9. The wolf will live with the lamb, and the leopard will lie down with the goat, and the calf and young lion and fatling will be together, and the little child will lead them, and the cow will graze with the bear. Their young will lie down together, and the lion will eat straw with the ox. The infant will play by the cobra's den, and the toddlers will reach into the viper's nest. Now, this is all very prophetic as well. If the wolf will live with the lamb, that's talking about the evil will go with the good as well. So that's really prophetic right there about a lot of different types of peoples. All right, sorry about that. Just looking along here. So Sunday worshipers are worship churches. So the Sunday worship churches are wrong. Are you asking me that? All right, and through him to reconcile to himself all things, whether things on earth or things in heaven, by making peace through the blood of his cross. All right. And I heard every creature in heaven, on earth, and on this is Revelations 5:13. And I heard every creature in heaven and on earth and under the sea and in the sea, and all that is in them, saying, to him who sits on the throne and to the Lamb be praise and honor and glory and power forever and ever. All right. That's a good sign of when that covenant will be established right there. So let's move on to he. I will establish, this is 9:11, Genesis 9:11. I establish my covenant with you. Never again will all life be destroyed by the waters of a flood. Never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. All right. So if you look at this kind of prophetically also, if you look at waters being people and a flood of people coming in, you can kind of get into some prophetical things that happen with the end time prophecies as well. The end time prophecy is supposed to be somewhat fulfilled by a flood of people that is the northern army, the locust army, which would be considered waters. And when this is established, when this new covenant is established at the end of times, never again will there be a flood to destroy the earth. So that will also, he's talking about what happened here with Noah, and he's talking about prophetically at the end times as well. Go to Isaiah 54, 9, 10. And it says, for to me this is like the days of Noah, when I swore that the waters of Noah would never again cover the earth. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with you or rebuke you, though the mountains may be removed and the hills may be shaken. My loving devotion will not depart from you, and my covenant of peace will not be broken, says the Lord, who has compassion on you. Second Peter 3, 6 through 7, through which the world of that time perished in the flood, and by that same word the present heavens and earth are reserved for fire, being kept for the day of judgment and destruction of ungodly men. Revelations 4, 3. The one seated there looked like jasper and carnelian, and a rainbow that gleamed like an emerald encircled the throne. All right, that's a good verse to remember. Just hold on to that one for a minute. This is what the Lord says. If you break my covenant with the day and my covenant with the night. This is Jeremiah 33, 20, 21. So that day and night cease to occupy their appointed time, then my covenant may also be broken with David, my servant, and with my ministers, the Levites, who are priests, so that David will not have a son to reign on his throne. Who's that talking about right there? The descendant of David. And we'll do let's move on to the next one here, 9:12. God said, "This is a sign of the covenant I am making between me and you and every living creature with you, a covenant for all generations to come." All right, that means we all need to be keeping this covenant, and to stay in covenant, we have to keep our end of the agreement. And there has been many covenants established throughout. And they all still apply until we start getting into this stuff where Genesis 9:13, I have set my rainbow in the clouds, and it will be the sign. Hey, be quiet. Max, shush. No. No, stop. Sorry about that. There. What are you doing, Bobby? All right. My version here just has bow for this. It doesn't say rainbow, but it does say bow. But we're going to get into some things here that is going to be quite, hopefully it brings some clarity to some things here. All right, Ezekiel 1:28. We have the appearance of a brilliant light all around him was like that of a rainbow in a cloud on a rainy day. This was the appearance of the likeness of the glory of the Lord. And when I saw it, I fell face down and heard a voice speaking. So that right there, who is that person speaking that has the light all around and was like that of a rainbow? Revelations 4:3 again. The one seated there looked like jasper and cornelian, and and a rainbow that gleamed like an emerald circle encircled the throne. All right, there's that rainbow again. Then I saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven, wrapped in a cloud, with a rainbow above his head. His face was like the sun, and his legs were like pillars of fire. Revelations 10:1. Very good. That is the Messiah. Right here it says that he is an angel. He is a mighty angel. In Revelations 10:1. Max, be quiet. All right. You love his... Yes, Peniel. Good. I learned that the other night. And that sounds pretty prophetic with end times. You know, how he is going to appear as in a cloud. So now we're going to read verse 9:14. And it shall come to pass, when I bring a cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud. Okay? Now this bow is the token or the sign of the covenant. All right? Now that is the thing that was going to kick it off, and that's going to establish the new covenant after that. So this bringing the cloud over the earth, that the bow shall be seen in the cloud, that is not talking about a rainbow in a cloud, and that is not talking about something that happens all the time that we see every time it rains. That is prophetic to the end time prophecy, as far as when he returns on a cloud, and that the bow shall be seen in the cloud, and that is by all. We're going to find that. Well, thought I had it here, but I'm sure everybody is familiar with the Revelations verse of that. Go to Psalms 89:34-37. I will not violate my covenant or alter the utterance of my lips. Once and for all, I have sworn by my holiness. I will not lie to David. His offspring shall endure forever, and his throne before me like the sun. We just talked about he had the face of sun and legs like pillars of fire. So we'll go to 9:15. I will remember my covenant which is between me, you, and every living creature of all flesh, and the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy all flesh. So there again it brings about the waters shall no more become a flood to destroy the flesh. Oops. And if you remember, we talked about the waters can represent the people, and the flood that's supposed to come in of the people at the end times. There is people that are already in areas that have flooded, sons of Canaan, that will at one point bring the bow and sword and battle to the land of Babylon here very soon, probably. Just like this, Isaiah 54:9-10. I I read this one earlier. For me, this is like the days of Noah, when I swear with the waters of Noah would never again cover the earth. So I have sworn that I will not be angry with you or rebuke you. Remember his covenant forever. 1 Chronicles 16:15 through 17. Remember his covenant forever, the word he ordained for 1,000 generations, the covenant he made with Abraham, and the oath he swore to Isaac. He confirmed it to Jacob as a decree to Israel, as an everlasting covenant. And then who is Jacob, right? That is the son of Noah and the son of Shem. And the bow shall be in the cloud, this is 9:16. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it, that I remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is upon the earth. Now our Father, we haven't been keeping his covenant, so he has turned his eyes away from us. But when our Son returns, that's what this is talking about right here. When the Messiah returns, his Son, he will look upon it. He will turn back and look upon us, and he will remember the everlasting covenant that he had between the flesh and him. But right now, we're in a state of darkness, and we're in the Babylon because we have not kept the covenant by keeping his law, and by eating clean, and by following his commandments. So that is one step that we need to do in order to shalom, Judy. Thank you, Jen. Ezekiel 16:60. But I will remember the covenant made with you in those days of your youth, and I will establish an everlasting covenant with you. An everlasting covenant. Then we'll get into 9:17 here. So God said to Noah, this is a token of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is upon the earth. And what is that sign? That sign, again, is the bow in the cloud that will come. Let's bounce over to Revelations and find that. All right. Well, if I'm going to look this up, but if anybody has anything else they would like to go over or talk about, or if anyone wants to come up and join me, that would be great as well. All right. We have here Revelations 1:7. And behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Very important. And then we're going to bring up Revelations 10:1 again. Then I saw another mighty angel coming down from heaven. Let's read some of that so we get some context with that. So we're going to start back in we'll start at 9:19. This is basically right after the 4 angels were loosed, 6 seals sounded. 4 angels were bound, and then the loosed, and so we'll start at 9:19. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, and their tails were like the serpents unto had heads, and with them they did not hurt. That's talking about the locust army being released there. Okay, all right, so so that's the floods of the waters and floods that we were talking about earlier. Is that right there? Actually, we'll start at. Might as well start at. No, well, that's fine. You all get that, I guess. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of their works of their hands, and yet that they should not worship devils and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor talk nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornications, nor of their thefts. And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud, and a rainbow was upon his head. And his face was as if it were sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book open, and he set his right foot upon the sea, and his left foot on the earth. And he cried with a loud voice, as when a lion roareth. And when he had cried, 7 thunders uttered their voices. Now, who is the Lion of Judah? I assume this would be the same angel when they are talking like that we talked about earlier. Isaiah 52:7. Thank you. Let's go over there and read that. How beautiful upon the mountains are the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace, that bringeth good tidings. Again, Peniel, yes. That bring good tidings of good, that publisheth salvation, that saith unto Zion, thy Elohim reigneth. Absolutely. Thank you for that, witness. Hello, Adrian. I'm just kind of wrapping things up here. I didn't have a very good long one, but I was just kind of finishing up with what I had. Just some stuff that I kind of went through today. But that's kind of all I got for tonight, guys. I don't know if anybody wants to direct anything anywhere else or jump up and join me. You're welcome to join me. Kind of make this whatever you guys want. But or you can listen to Max bark some more. But I'm learning. I had some things that came to me today while I was reading in Matthew 10:12. All right. And I just wanted to share that with some people that might get something out of it too. Let's see, let's go up here. Just one moment, and I'll find that verse here. All right. As you enter home, give it your greeting. Excellent. When you enter the home, give it your blessing. Here's some cross references on that. Luke 10:5-6. Whatever house you enter, begin by saying, "Peace to this house." If a man of peace is there, your peace will rest on him. If not, it will return to you. Very good. Matthew 10:13. If the home is worthy, let your peace rest on it. But if it is not, let your peace return to you. Mark 6:10-11. And he told them, when you enter a house, stay there until you leave that area. If anyone will not welcome you or listen to you, shake the dust off your feet when you leave that place as a testimony against them. You saw today about 3 days of darkness and referenced Revelation 6:12-17. Yeah, I haven't ever found anything that specifically has said there's going to be 3 days of darkness either, but let's take a look at that. All right, Revelation 6:12-17. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll, when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their place. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman and every free man hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us, and hide us from the face for him that sitteth on the throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? It's 3 days all over it. Genesis, huh? Let's see, let's look up 3 days. Let's see. Matthew 10:12 says there is violence in the kingdom of heaven. Oh, did I read the wrong verse? That there is violence in the kingdom of heaven, and violent take it by force. Yeah, I can't find the verses in Genesis, but as far as what those verses are that you showed, I didn't see anything about 3 days in there at all. I've done some research on that prior, and I just kind of disregarded it because I didn't really find anything to back it up. Matthew 10:12. Maybe I'm seeing the wrong verse, Suzanne, but Matthew 10:12 right here says, "And when ye come into an house, salute it." Yeah, I think you might have the wrong verse there, Suzanne. Oh, Max. 11:12. All right. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John, and if ye will receive it, this is Aliyah, which was for to come. Well, let's read the verse before it. Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of women, there hath not risen up greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. That's very interesting. The kingdom of heaven. So, if you look at it prophetically, where the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of heaven somewhat resides inside you. So, if the violent people take that by force, like they will make you suffer, and you can lose. Well, they're doing it, I guess, by being who they are, and your salvation can be taken by the evil people by you losing your kingdom of heaven. They've done it in one way by removing the law from the land. Like they have violently, let's take by instance Constantine's rule to change the Sabbath to Sunday by force. By if you are caught celebrating Sabbath, you are killed. That's an example of they're taking the kingdom of heaven by violence, if that makes sense. Not exactly the Sunday worship, but the act of enforcing it by death. All right, great. That took me a little while to think that one through and get it out there, but I hope that made sense to everybody. All right, anything else that anybody wants to talk about or go any directions on anything? It's kind of been a long week for me, and my brain has had enough of trying to think of things and search things, so I'm just kind of trying to put together some pieces and wanted to do a little bit of a live tonight, but I might cut this one a little bit short tonight just because I need some time for my brain to heal and process still, so But if there's anything anybody's got any questions or wants to talk about, we can sure do that for a little bit. Otherwise, let's just say our goodbyes. We could do a prayer. Yeah, let's do a prayer. All right. Oh, that's all right, She-Light. I'm just getting off early tonight, too. Shalom, brother. Shalom to you. Yeah, you will both be quiet. Oh, Mark. Sorry, brother. I'm cutting it early tonight, Mark. So you and She-Light just came in at the end of it. But you're here to pray with us. We're just about to pray, and then I'm going to shut it down for the night. So shalom to you as well. I'm glad you got to come and pray with us. Wow. All right. Please pray for your dad. I surely will. All right. Dear Father in heaven, we thank you so much for this day, and we thank you for all the blessings that you've set forth in front of us. We ask that you open our eyes to see the things that you do for us and the ways that you work in front of us. And we just ask that you open our eyes so we can receive those blessings instead of just letting them pass by. I pray for She-Light's dad so that I don't know what's going on there, but just be with him and comfort him, give him peace with whatever is going through. And we ask that you are with us tonight. Send your angels to fight for us while the demons try to attack us while we are weak, when sleeping and vulnerable. And just ask that we wake with you in our hearts and on our minds, and guide us through the day tomorrow with your will and your law on our hearts. Hallelujah and amen. All right. Thank you guys for joining me, and we will see you tomorrow. Mike, sorry about that. I just missed you. We're heading out. I'm doing early night tonight, so thanks for coming, though. We'll talk to you all later. Love y'all. What?